So the problem we are working today is 3x minus 2 minus a negative x plus 2. So we are going to use our tiles to represent this. First, we're going to put 3 x's to represent the 3x. And then we're going to add 2 negative red tiles. Now we see this sign up here means take away. So we have to take away a negative x plus 2. But right now we don't have any negative x's on the board. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a 0 pair in order to get a negative x on our board. A 0 pair is a negative x plus a positive x. Now I'm going to add these to the map, and I now have a negative x to take away. Now I have to take away a positive 2 squares, but I don't have any positive 2 squares. So I'm again going to put in 2 0 pairs. So there's negative 1, positive 1, and positive 1. So we see when we put these together, they're negative 0 pairs and they don't change the value on our board. So now that I have positive 2, I can take these 2 positive pairs of 1 away. Now I have my final answer, which is 1, 2, 3, 4x and 4 negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together this creates an answer of 4x minus 4. Now we're going to look at our next problem. Let's clear the board. Our next problem is 2x squared plus 3 minus 2. And we're going to try and make an area model out of these shapes once we put them on our board. So here's an x squared. Here's another x squared. So now we have 2x squared. Here's 1x, 2x, 3x. So now we have 3x. And now we just need negative 2. So now that we have all of our tiles on our board, we're going to try and move these around and make a rectangle that has no gaps in it. So I'm going to start by doing this. I'm just going to move them around to where I think they're going to fit. Now we see here that I do have a gap here as well as along here. So now it still doesn't work. I have to move it around one more time just to see if I can fix it. So I'm going to move these over. Move these up here. Oh, I'm running into the same problem again. I still have a gap right along here. So now I have an idea. Since I still have a gap in my area model, I'm going to try and add in a 0 pair. And I've manipulated this a bit, so I know what I'm going to add already, but sometimes this takes extra time. I'm going to add this 0 pair in order to make my area model. So now let me move these around one more time and see if I can get them to work with the 0 pair in there. All right, now we see that we have an area model with no gaps. I know it's hard to show on the piece of paper, but this fits along the square, and these each fit along each x. So along the top, we're going to add tiles to show the dimensions and how we create each. So let's see. we have an x here, an x here, an x here, because x times x equals x squared, and x times x equals x squared. Now I have to figure out what times what equals this. So what times x equals a negative x? I'm thinking a -1. So does -1 times x equal -x? I think so. Now what times -1 equals -1? And I think a +1 will fit here, and a +1 will fit here. So now I have my dimensions of my area model that will help show me what my answer will be. So now that we have our area model dimensions, I can move them down here to find our answer. So from the top, our answer was 2x minus 1 equals x plus 2. And I will write that down. So this represents right here 2x minus 1 x plus 2.